All right. So we are going to look at another conversation, this one between Ben and Rajiv. Ben and Rajiv are in Home Depot. Ben is shopping. He has a need, and Rajiv happens to be the gentleman who works in the store who Ben sees and stops with a question. Very common situation, especially in Home Depot type stores, because oftentimes when we go in there, we have something that we are fixing, or we have some sort of tool that we need, or supply that we need, and we're not that sure where to find and or exactly which one to purchase. So we often will be asking for help in a place like that. In terms of this conversation, you're going to hear a lot of questioning going on, and you're also in the beginning going to hear the pause that is made because the assistant is busy at the moment, a very familiar thing. So let's start off, and I'll stop and talk a little bit as we go. Ben says, excuse me, can you help me with something? Sure, give me a couple seconds to finish something up. Okay. So often happens, we try to catch the eye of that salesperson, or we see them pass by and we go, oh, stop, can you help me with something? Okay. We interrupt them, and that is considered appropriate if it's done in a polite manner. We don't want to be abrupt about it or rude, but it's fine if you see a salesperson and you want to catch their eye, catch their attention, to wave them down and say, excuse me, okay? And you give them that little signal, and it will catch their eye, and they will often turn and say, what may I help you? Is something that you need, But they also would quite often say, I'm busy, can you wait just a moment? Okay, so that's what's happened to yours. Excuse me, can you help me with something? Sure, give me a couple seconds to finish something up. Okay, no hurry. Rajiv returns. Sorry about that. So how can I help? Okay, here we have that possibility for sorry about that. We have the possibility that he would be casual there. So how can I help? Or you might hear, what do you need? What do you need? Okay, not what do you need, but that casual kind of gentle slang. What do you need? How can I help? It's almost like one word. How can I help? Ben's holding a light fixture, so it's pretty obvious what he needs help with. Well, as you can see, I have a broken exterior light fixture. All right. Now, he may not even need to say, I have a broken exterior light fixture, because it's obvious. He could just simply hold that up and go, well, as you can see, this is broken. Okay, so he could do it that way. It fell off the wall and hit concrete in the storm yesterday. Now, we know it probably hit the concrete patio or front porch, but it's fine. It fell off the wall and it hit concrete. That's all you need to say. In the storm yesterday, all right? Yeah, that was quite a storm. I had some damage at my house too. All right, off topic somewhat, okay? Rajiv is not talking directly about Ben's lamp, which is the topic of this conversation, but Rajiv is being friendly. He's throwing in a comment, okay, that's personal. Yeah, quite a storm. Had some damage at my house too. And then Ben tags onto that, okay? Here's expanding conversation. It's going beyond the exact topic. I noticed lots of homes with damage as I drove here this morning. I feel pretty lucky that this light is the only thing I have to deal with. Okay. So he kind of threw in another comment about the storm in general and the damage that the storm had done in this particular area. And then he says, so I know these are kinda expensive to replace, but I'm wondering if it can just be fixed. I'd rather not spend the money to buy a new one. Looks to me like I need a couple of parts if you have them, okay? Instead of beginning with just looks to me, all right? Again, a more casual way. Looks to me like I need a couple of parts if you have them. And Rajiv thinking, let's see. Okay, I definitely have switches, so I know I can replace your broken switch there. But I see that the frame of the fixture is bent on the front. Ben says, yeah, pretty noticeable, huh? Okay. He doesn't say, yeah, it's pretty noticeable, huh? He just says, yeah, pretty noticeable, huh? It's assumed, okay? The it's is assumed here and is casual. Rajiv said, yeah, sure is. And Rajiv is meaning, yeah, sure is noticeable, okay? But he just says, yeah, sure is. We actually don't carry frame replacements. Unfortunately, you'd have to purchase a new light if you can't live with the bent, if you can't live with the bent frame. Okay, excuse me. Casual conversation will definitely have more contractions. In that sentence, I think there are 3. You'd, instead of you would. Excuse me, there are 2. And can't, okay, instead of cannot. And then we have live with, phrasal verb, live with. That's a phrase that we use to mean it's something that, you know, you can deal with. That's okay. We live with a lot of things that we might not think are the best, but we live with them anyway. So perhaps you are trying to choose between two tables for your living area, and one table is, you know, $365 and one is $212, and the $212 one is painted black, and the $365 one is a wood, solid wood, okay? And you said, well, you know, I can live with the black one. It'll look nice and it's a lot less money, all right? So that's how we use that, that phrasal verb. So repeating Rajiv here just one more time. Yeah, sure is. We actually don't carry frame replacements. Unfortunately, you'd have to purchase a new light fixture if you can't live with the bent frame. Okay, gotcha. Well, what's the damage for a new one? That's a funny phrase there. What's the damage for a new one? What's the damage? What we mean when we say what's the damage is what is the cost? How much is this going to cost me? So we have damage as in the case of the light fixture being physically damaged. In the case of what's the damage, for me, in this kind of scenario, it's how much is it going to hurt my pocketbook or my wallet, okay? So what's the damage for a new one? Rajiv says, let's see. I don't have the exact model, but here's one that's a close match. It's $48.99 and it has motion detection. Comes in black and antique gold. Okay? He doesn't use the pronoun it to, you know, as the subject. It's assumed. Again, it's casual. Comes in black and antique gold. All right? Well, that's not too bad. I like it, but I'll take a look at your other choices and make a decision. Thanks a lot for your help. Okay. Ben doesn't feel like he has to decide in that moment. He can take some time, and he's going to let Rajiv go on and do his whatever else he needs to do. So he's kind of releasing him. Rajiv says, "No problem. Let me know if I can do anything else. Sorry we couldn't salvage the old one." Salvage means to save. "Sorry we couldn't salvage the old one." Ben says, "Thanks, you've been a great help." Okay. Now he could have just as easily said, "No big deal. This is good. I'm fine. Thank you." Okay. Lots of ways he could casually, say, "Hey, it's all right." This is such a common occurrence, isn't it? That we would have something broken and need to fix it, and need a little bit of help. But this is a friendly exchange between these two people. Now, we know that sometimes conversations among salespeople don't go so well. Sometimes we do encounter a salesperson who's having a bad day, and they are not very helpful, or maybe their attitude is not so nice. And we have to be more firm in our approach. We may not be quite as friendly. The conversation may be not in that casual, friendly way. It may become quite serious, and that will be very obvious in our tone and our facial expressions, in the way that we speak very plainly and clearly to get our point across. So sometimes in a business transaction, in a store, things don't go well. Unfortunately, that happens. Hopefully, most of the time, we encounter good people who are friendly. And the other thing I think that's important is that salespeople can be having a hard day for many reasons. They deal with a lot of nonsense. They also have sometimes bosses who are constantly giving them a difficult time. We say breathing down their neck. That means the boss is always just like right here, just like looking over their shoulder and making them feel nervous and worried and uncomfortable. So sometimes it's the customer who actually can change the mood for the individual who's waiting on us. We can be the sunshine in their day by being cheerful and by having a pleasant conversation about other things that are going on, as well as taking care of the need that we are there to discuss. So I would like for you to practice this conversation at home, and I would also like for you to take your pencil as you go, and in about 3 to 5 places in this conversation, I would like you to change the words to something else that could be said. And I've given you some examples, okay? As I just did at the end, "Thanks, you've been a great help," or, he could say, "Thanks, appreciate your time," okay? Change up. Use some of those casual expressions that you've heard Americans use, and pencil those in, okay? Make it a little bit more your own conversation by making those changes. I would like to know also if you would send me a text and let me know of a casual conversation that you would like for me to create on a particular topic or situation. You can tell me what the situation is that you have in mind, and one that you encounter sometimes, and that you would like to hear here in us, for us to practice in class, and I'd be glad to create one from that. So I hope these help. We'll do them occasionally. That'll be the only 2 for a while. We'll do some more soon. All right, we have a few minutes left here before I switch. So I'm going to go ahead in these couple of minutes, and then I will stop and restart. I'm going to go ahead and move to our next topic.